Hey everybody, welcome back to the internet again. I guess I don't have any other intro to add to this one, so I guess we're just going to read some entitled parent stories. Starting with, Mom calls cops on daughter for kidnapping brother. So this isn't a story about an entitled mom that I just happened to run into and had to deal with. This entitled mom is my mom. So a backstory. So this happened last year around May. I was at a town festival/carnival with my children, 6 and 7-year-old at the time. My brother and my mother don't get along too well, as they both think they are better than everyone else, and they are never wrong. Since he turned 15, they've been at each other's throats. So at the carnival, I'm wandering around the carnival with my children and their father, when my phone starts going off over and over. When I answer, I hear my brother on the other line crying and begging to come stay with me. I tell him where I am and that the only way he can come stay with me is if it is all right with our mother, as she has pulled some outrageous stuff in the past. He goes on to tell me that she's been drinking and has busted the door to his room trying to get to him. I don't know how much of this to believe, as he is a bit dramatic and tends to embellish stories. I get a call while on the phone with him. It's my mother, and before I can answer, it goes to voicemail. So after I calm him a bit, I agree to hang up with him and call mother to see if I can calm the situation a little for both of them and to get her side of the story. The truth is usually somewhere in between their stories. I go ahead and hang up and check my voicemail. The voicemail is my mom yelling into her phone. "Listen here, young lady, you better not be even thinking about coming to get him. I will call the police and say that you kidnapped him or that you are aiding and abetting a runaway, and you will go to jail. Don't test me." As I stand there a little shocked, I decide to call my mother and explain that I told him no, and that I would only come get him if she was completely okay with it. He may be my brother, but he isn't my child. The phone call went something like this. "Hey Mama, sorry if he or I gave you the wrong idea. I told him that I wouldn't come get him unless I'm drinking? Or he wants to run away?" "No, I told him I wouldn't come get him unless you were okay with it." "Oh, I'm sure that's what you said. When I won't have to worry about it because I have already called the cops and told them about your plan to kidnap him." "Mom, I'm at a carnival with my children, your grandchildren. I'm not coming to kidnap him. What the heck is wrong with you?" "You will be arrested for this, and then you will both learn who is in charge here." At that point, I angrily hang up the phone. Since we are at a town-wide event, there are police officers out and about keeping the peace. So I go up to one of the officers that I know. He was my science teacher in high school and is now a deputy, and ask him to please verify that I'm at the carnival, in a public place, and have no intentions of kidnapping anyone. He looks confused, so I tell him my side of the story. He chuckled and agreed to stay with me to verify my whereabouts and intentions. Turns out she did call the cops, but they came to her house. Since she technically had no reason to call them, she was disorderly, and she and my 15-year-old brother were drunk. She was arrested. So she had the audacity to call me from the jailhouse and ask me to bail her out. I just said, "Nah, you might consider it a kidnapping. I can't take that chance. Sorry." I hope you enjoy this post. It still angers me to this day to think about it. My mother went to AA, as now is doing much better though. Oh man. It's great when you get revenge on these entitled people. That sounds like a psychotic mom. I would be pretty happy to be away from a family like that, honestly. And on to the next story, called Entitled Mother Steals Money Given to Me by My Dying Father. So just a heads up that this will be pretty long, so sadly, in this post, the entitled mother is my mother. So just a little backstory. My mom was always abusive mentally and physically, and is basically a selfish human being. Also, because of my financial situation, I live with my mom and stepdad, and the price of renting here is just too expensive. However, I do actually pay for my own bills, buy my own food, etc. My dad is the only person who really helped me financially when I didn't have any money, and actually stopped me from becoming homeless. My mom gave me no support financially and emotionally. So one day I was looking through my bank account online because I really wanted to buy myself some merch from a few bands I really like and wanted to give myself an estimation of how much I could spend. A few hours later, I had $300 sent to my account. I thought this was a mistake and was going to call my bank because if I didn't, I might be charged with a whole list of things, but then I had to look at the receipt and it said, "Happy birthday. I hope you had a great birthday. Love, Dad." At this point, I was emotional because not even my mother has done anything like this, and I just respected him so much. So later that day, I went out to get some of my favorite food to bring back, and then checked my account again. The $300 was gone. I know it wasn't me because the total of food I bought was $20. This is when I had a horrible feeling and thought that my mother could have taken it, as she has stolen something from me before, but not to this extent. I walked up to her, clearly pissed. I said, "Did you take the money out of my account?" "Yeah, I used it for the bills to get ahead." At this time, my face was pale. I was really upset. "Did you take $300 out today?" She looks at me confused. "Yeah, why?" I said, "Dad gave me that as a birthday gift. You know he's getting more and more sick, and this may be the last thing he ever gives me." She says, "But you need to pay the bills here." I say, "Are you serious? Did you hear anything I said?" She said, "It's just money." I said, "I wanted to buy myself something nice to remind myself of my dad for when he passes away and have something nice to remember him by." She says, "Well, why don't you ask him for more money?" I said, "He already gave me $300. Why are you so selfish?" She says, "How dare you? You're lucky I'm not kicking you out." I was just pissed at this point, so I called my dad and told him what happened, and he was understandably upset as well. I asked him to never send money to my account because Mom had actually looked into my account as I had the password already saved onto the computer. I have since changed the password and told my mother that if she does it again, then I'll report her for fraud and theft. Wow, it seems like today we have a lot of stories of people dealing with their own terrible mothers. And on to the third and final story, called Entitled Teacher Almost Kills Me. So a little backstory, this happened a couple years ago in middle school. I have severe asthma triggered by smoke and random crap in the air. So I'm in an art class, bored as heck painting some random fruits with my best friend, let's call him Jimmy. Starts spraying hand sanitizer and air freshener everywhere. I mean like at people too. So Jimmy unknowingly sprays a lot of it at me. I have an asthma attack from it being everywhere, and here comes the entitled teacher. She says, "What are you doing?" I'm just coughing. She says, "You're coughing too loudly." I say, "May I please go get my inhaler? I'm having an asthma attack." She says, "Nobody leaves the classroom unless they're about to die." My friend says, "He could die if he doesn't get his inhaler." "No talking without permission." I bolt the heck out of the class and use my inhaler. Not sure what the heck fully went down when I left, but this is all I heard. The teacher says, "Where is OP?" Nobody says anything. I walk back into the class hoping she didn't notice me. She says, "Where have you been?" I say, "Using my inhaler." "Nobody leaves the class without permission." Anyways, I got detention and my friend and Jimmy didn't get any punishments. Ryan kinda saved my life. I guess he sorta just saved me from getting beat up on the spot. Still my hero. Oh man, I always hated teachers like this, that it's like their brain is so programmed to only follow exact specific rules and they just don't understand how to make any kind of exception. Anyways, that does it for some entitled parents / people. I mean, to be fair, like, all of these different entitled boards are kind of the same. Entitled parents, entitled people, choosing beggars, like, you could pretty much interchangeably put these stories in any of these boards. So maybe I'll just do like a mixture of all three of them a lot of the time. But since putting the word r/entitled gets all the views, that's pretty much what it's going to be called a lot of the time. Anyways, that's all for today, so thanks for watching.